You are listening to ChartingWealth.com for Friday the 10th of February 2017. We see the markets, stocks up, gold and bonds down. We're going to jump right into the S&P 500. It's depicted by SPY, up for the day 0.59%. We are getting closer and closer to a crossover on that critical two-day chart. Our weekly chart is already in an uptrend. As soon as we get a crossover confirmed on our two-day chart, then of course we'll be looking for an entry point on that 2-hour chart. But as long as we continue to see these markets grow up, it has been a while. The S&P 500 has been sliding sideways or dropping since the 31st of January. So slowly but surely it started inching up and then pushed above over the course of the last 2 days, the high that it had reached all the way back on Friday the 27th. So things are looking good. Derivative oscillators also turned positive, and it's trying its best right now to push through. Hasn't confirmed it yet. It's the first day of the new two-day candle. Perhaps on Friday it will have pushed through and confirmed a move over on the two-day chart. At that time, of course, we will go ahead and lock that in and be ready to look at things on Monday. So maybe we'll have some plays coming up soon on the S&P 500. Let's go to the Qs. We're in a play there right now. Those of you who have been following that with us, you know that the gold, that is the weekly trend line, has been moving up since a crossover all the way back around the 9th or so of January. I believe it was actually the 6th. We jumped in on our weekly trade on the 9th. And then, of course, we had the pullback on the 2-hour chart, and it crossed over around the 2nd. In fact, we can zoom right in on that by going to our 2-hour chart. And what we saw when that crossover occurred, that actually occurred on the 1st, Wednesday the 1st at 4 p.m. We had that crossover occur, and we had a jumping in point either then or first thing after the 10:30, after the foolish hour, or we call it idiot hour. We had the jumping in point, and of course we've seen things climb from somewhere around 125 all the way up to the high. I guess, in fact, the high throughout the course of the day, 127.24. So things are continuing to look good there. And again, you want to know what we're all about, go subscribe at the website, chartingwealth.com, to our daily reviews and forecasts. What will you get? You will get with that our How to Read a Stock Chart video, which tells you what it is we do, how we do it, why we do it, what we're looking at. We are trend followers, and the trend following, my friends, has been good lately. For the month of January, up on 2 of our indexes on gold and the Qs, a total of 5.15% in price movement. That is just for a month. If we can keep that up every month, and I'm not saying we're going to keep that high every month, but if we do, what is that? I mean, 5 times 12? Folks, that's like 60% for the year. I would love that. We're not calling that at all. But don't forget how slow things can get in those summertime months. But we'll continue to push ahead and do everything we can do in our virtual trades. Remember, we're not a stock calling service. We're an education firm. We want you to train with us. When you get good, you can make up your own decisions, your own mind with your own money. Okay, that's where we are on the Qs. Now let's go back to our 2-day chart. Going to take a look next at TLT. Actually, that is a 20-year bond fund. It was down 1.15% for the day. Now we're looking at the first day of a 2-day chart. What do we see going on there? Well, we had an over-infusive day back on the 2-day candle, well, for those 2 days, ending on the 8th. That was Wednesday, the 8th of February. We had a range from a low of 119 to a high of 122.27. So lots there. It since backed off. The movement throughout the course of the day that we see on the first day of the 2-day candle, a low of 120, a high of 121.59. So Again, some backing off from all that exuberance that we saw in that past 2-day candle. What do we see though? What are the charts telling us? Which is what's so critically important. We can see that the PPO is still moving up, not at the same angle it had been previously, but it's still moving up. And the derivative oscillator is increasing in energy, which are good signs on the 2-day chart. We'll continue to watch things. Of course, we had a jumping in point on TLT. If we go to our 2-hour chart, we can actually see where that occurred. That actually occurred right there on at 10 a.m. or really 10:30. We don't ever get in before the first hour has passed in the market, around 119 to about 119.50. And of course, where did it head up to and where was the high that it eventually hit? It hit as high as 122.27. And of course, we saw a burn off of that. Not anywhere near the entire growth that we saw in it, but we did see the 2-day chart back up some, or the 2-hour chart rather back up some. And we'll just continue to follow that and just see. Remember, we're still in a long-term up move. We've just had that weekly chart rotate over, going up, and the derivative oscillators continuing to gain energy, and the PPO is continuing to gain energy, moving up. So we always go back when we look at our trades and check out our bigger charts. We don't let ourselves be controlled by the little charts. They will tear you apart. Okay, that's where we are as far as TLT goes. All of that is looking good. Lastly, we're going to go to gold. Gold was down 0.79%. We had a jumping point in there, did we not? And again, if we look at gold, crossed over around the 27th on the big weekly chart. And if we look at our 2-hour chart, we can see that our entry point on gold on that 2-hour chart was actually back on the 30th at around noon. That is where the crossover was confirmed. Jumping in point somewhere, well, the opening was 113.49. Gold has hit as high as what? 118.59. And it lost some of that energy throughout the course of the day, just like bonds did. We'll continue to watch that, still above, way above the weekly, and still well above the 2-day trend line. So we'll continue to watch on gold, and we'll just see how things continue to go. As we end the week, we end the latest candle, we will be keeping our eyes to see if that candle does mark a crossover on the 2-day candle, so that we might have a trade over the course of the next week in the S&P 500. That's where we are, folks. We so thank you for being with us. You have questions, problems, concerns, hey, you can always email us, cw@chartingwealth.com. You can do that on your email, or you can go to the website, get a hold of us. We love to hear from you. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you may be. We are there. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Charting Wealth. And of course, if you want to help us out the most, go to iTunes, subscribe to our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, say something nice about us. You guys have made us as high as number 6 in the world in stock market podcasts, and we so appreciate all of your involvement. We are here to help you. We're here to help you read these charts, because I'm telling you, folks, if you can read charts, you've got yourself a virtual printing press with that market. It's like having the Wall Street Journal a day in advance, maybe a week in advance. And remember, we're all about trend following. Please, lots of great training at the Charting Wealth channel. Thank you for all you do for us. We are happy to be here with you each and every day. God bless from chartingwealth.com.